Louis Taphouse, and thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Average Joe Beer Connoisseur. Today is December 1st, which is very exciting for me because if you watch the last two episodes, you know that I've been hyping up my Bomber Advent calendar that I do every year in December. Now, when I was planning my episode for the Bomber Advent calendar that I was going to do, I was like, I want to do this video with somebody that is very special to me, very important. He has been an inspiration, been a rock, has been full of positivity when it comes to the show and full of ideas. And I honestly don't think God could have created a more beautiful woman. Unfortunately, Carrie Underwood could not be here today, and she probably won't be here for a while. That shifting you're getting is because my dog is extremely heavy and walking on the floor right now. This is a family show, so you're going to hear him a little bit. We're going to do something with him later. So Carrie Underwood is not here, but my wife has agreed to step in, and it's probably even better because she knows more about beer than Carrie does anyway. So we are going to hit this off with a great beer to start. So why don't you tell them about the fantastic beer that we're starting off with?
So here today we have Rusty Nail Limited 2019 Barrel Aged Release from Fremont Brewing. It comes in at a whopping 13.9% and is the #1 oatmeal stout in the world according to Beer Advocate. It is an imperial oatmeal stout aged 15 months in bourbon barrels with licorice and cinnamon bark.
So aged 15 months. It actually comes from a beer called The First Nail, and then they age that for a long time before they bring it out. Now you're probably thinking, Pat, how do we know she's qualified to be on the show? How can we listen to her? How do we know she's the average Jane beer connoisseur? Well, I'll ask her some questions, but she has given a ton of recommendations over the year. So if you've watched the show and you've tried any of her beers, you know that she knows what she's talking about. But just in case, what's your favorite style of beer?
So sometimes it depends on the day, but I would have to say typically my go-to would be a sour.
Sour beer. And your favorite brewery in Cincinnati?
Along with that, Street Side Brewing Company, they make a great sour.
Yeah, she made the recommendation of the Raspberry Beret, which we have tried before on the show. Fantastic beer. All right, scale of 1 to 10. 1 being you're not mad at all because beer is life. 10 being you're extremely pissed off. It's like one of the maddest you've ever been. You wake up one morning in a crate and you realize that I just traded you away to human trafficking for a guaranteed case of beer, pretty much unlimited beer. Stop that, Tubby. Case of beer of the Bourbon Barrel Aged Expedition Stout. How mad are you?
Well, it's pretty good beer, so probably 4 to 5.
Yeah, beer is life. You got that all figured out. So Fremont, which we're going to try here in a second, Fremont Brewing Company is from Seattle, Washington. Seattle's doing a lot of great stuff with beer right now. We have not been there yet, but it is on our future trip to do. They're just killing us. If you can make it out there, great craft beer scene. My only concern is they really think the earth is flat. A lot of them do. And they don't really think about vaccinating their children from what I understand. So I'm definitely planning on going out there with some sort of cold just to see what happens. So without further ado, let's go ahead and crank it out. Cheers. It's really, really good. So I'll go first, and just in case you don't remember, you do taste, drinkability, taste for style, will it get you drunk, and then your final overall rating. That's how it can be the way you do things. So drinkability for me is very drinkable, but it's very heavy. So when they make an oatmeal stout, they add the oatmeal to try to make it like a more fuller body, to smooth, like a silkier kind of drink. And that's what you get when you drink this, so it's got that full body feel. But because of that 14%, you're not chugging it. It's more of a sipper, and you're going to want to cherish it because this thing's probably running, like, depending on where you live, like $40 a bottle, and you don't want to just chug it. You definitely want to cherish it. I would suggest getting it cold, drinking it cold, and then letting it warm up to room temperature, and as it's warming up, slowly keep trying it to see if a lot of different flavors come out. Taste for style, it tastes like an oatmeal stout. It's very full, very good bodied, a little oily as it's supposed to be. For 14%, easy drinking, but it does have like a nice bourbon barrel on that back end, and that is giving me like a little bit of a warm feeling. And you can definitely tell it's been sitting on cinnamon for 15 months because it's a good cinnamon flavor, good cinnamon base to this, which is very nice. Will it get you drunk? 14%. It'll put you down. Wish you could see the dog right now because he's down and out. And overall rating, full pour. Hands down, not even questioning it. You?
So drinkability for this one, as he said, it's been aged in bourbon barrels, very smooth. You can taste that it's up there in percentage-wise, but it's very smooth for a 14% beer. What was the next one?
Taste for style.
Taste for style. So as we said before, it's the #1 oatmeal stout in the world. So of course it has a great oatmeal stout full body feel to it. And then will it get you drunk? Of course it will. It's 14%. You're not wanting to throw these back at a party anytime soon, but it is a great taste. Like I said, as I would rate it, I would also give it a full pour.
So final overall rating,
Full pour.
she's going full pour. I like the only one that she remembered out of the rating system was Will It Get You Drunk? That's like her favorite pastime, really. We can get more into that later. Did a good job stepping in. This is uncut, unedited, first go through. You know, she wasn't ready. She doesn't like being on camera. So it was the holidays recently, so we're looking, you know, a little more chinny than I normally am, a little bigger. So it's gonna be interesting to watch this video go as like we slimmer down from all that holiday fluff you're gonna see. So make sure you stay tuned every day. Now, as we said, this is a family show, and we're gonna include our dog. But I kind of forgot that I was going to include the dog, so we do have an advent calendar for him. So if we're doing one, he gets to do one. However, we accidentally already opened today's. He got like little chicken legs in there, and he loved them. They were fantastic. So for the sake of the show, we put some milk bones in there to give him. And we'll promise that we'll actually open these with him next time. So he bumped the camera again. Don't deal with that shaking. So stay tuned. You know, I guess the best way to say it is we'll see you tomorrow. Cheers. Day 2 of our Bomber Advent calendar. I'm not going to waste much time today. We already had a lot last time. I'm just going to let her kick it off since she has decided to come back, and she will be here for the rest of them. So she's going to tell you what we have today.
All right, so today we have the Big Smoke Smoked Porter from 8 Wire Brewing in New Zealand. It won New Zealand Brewery Champion in 2011, and a porter is supposed to taste malty and sweet chocolate. So we will give this a try.
Right. So, cheers.
Cheers.
So, it's a smoked porter, or a Rausch beer is what they call it. And the smoked beers, it's called a Rausch beer because the smoked beer is German, and it's mainly what it's real popular for. There's a place in Germany called Bramberg, which is actually where they get their malt. Then they're still smoking all their malts, and that is the beer that they're making. So when you drink this, you should get that sweet, you should get that toasty, you should get that chocolate, but you should also get a lot of smoke flavor in it. And surprisingly, there wasn't as much smoke as I was expecting from the reviews that I've read, but it's still nice and smoky, and it still gives you the smoke flavor that I was looking for. So, drinkability, I definitely think that and it's easy to drink. 6.2%, it's not overly smoky. Some smoke beers become very smoky. I've had some that are extremely strong that like you have to sip on. This one you don't have to sip on. You get the nice undertone taste. No, stop it. Our dog's being fat because he knows he gets his advent calendar right now. So he's really excited about that. But beer's really good. Great flavor. Not too much smoke. I'm a big smoke fan. You are not. I'm a huge smoke fan. It's like I could go for a little bit more. So taste for style. I want it to be a little smokier, but you do get like the chocolate, a little bit of chocolate in there, and you do get a lot of the malty taste to it, which you should expect. And there is some smoke. So I think there should be some more smoke, but yeah, it's okay. Will it get you drunk? 6.2%. You can probably drink this whole bottle, be okay. For the style, you're probably not going to drink more than 1 or 2 of these. So it would take a lot to get you there. My final overall rating, I'm probably going to give it about a 3/4 pour on any time. It's good, it's solid, it's not quite full range. But it's not bad. If there was more smoke to it, I really think that I would have upped it, but there was just lacking a little bit of that smoke that I wanted. What do you think?
Me, on the other hand, I'm not super keen on smoked beers. I definitely get the smoked flavor, kind of like a campfire. So drinkability, it's definitely drinkable. I wouldn't mind drinking a full glass of it. Taste for style, again, it is smoky. You get that malty, a little bit of chocolate roasty on the back end. So really great taste for style. Won the 2011 championship, so obviously great beer here. And then, will it get you drunk? Yeah, if you drink enough of it, it'll get you drunk, but you know, you can probably drink the whole bottle and be all right.
All right.
Turn it over to Moose.
Yep. So he's really excited, and you definitely can hear him. He's going crazy over here.
Right, buddy.
You might not be able to see him, but he's definitely going nuts. So what do we have today?
Day 2, you got a little nugget chip.
Just one to make this thing?
Yeah.
Started out
Just a
with
little
3
one
big
today.
chicken ones, and today's got a little one. What are you thinking?
How was it, buddy? A little crunchy. You already done?
Oh,
Not big enough?
He won. If you can't see him, he's staring at the box. He really wants it. Day 2, big success for him. Good success for us. We'll see you when it comes around to day 3. Till next time,
Cheers.
cheers. Yesterday that I did a whole intro again before shooting the show. You didn't go anywhere. We went somewhere, and the show should just run flawlessly. So it's going to be a little strange from day 1 to day 2. From now on, I'm going to try to make it as seamless as possible. Maybe not have the intros or have the conclusion, and just kind of try to have it all flow together a little bit better. As you can hear, the whiny dog, he's extremely pumped about his advent calendar. So we're going to do that first today instead of last, and maybe, just maybe, that fat dog will relax and behave. We shall see. So we have to do day 3 and day 4 because yesterday Taylor wasn't feeling it. She was a little sick, so we didn't shoot an episode. So we need to do day 3, and then we'll do a beer review, and then we'll do day 4, and we'll give him another one.
Where's 3 of them? What's 2?
We're going to do 2 and 1.
There.
If you at home see it before we do, let us know. All right, what do we got there?
It's little waffle biscuits.
Well, he swallowed that one really fast. Looks like they're the same things. Day 4 is the same thing. All right, Moose, lay down. All right, so first up today, we have the 30th anniversary ale from Boulevard. It's a 12.5% other style of beer. It's called a barrel-aged blended ale. It's got a 417 rating on Untappd. Brewed in Boulevard, which is in Kansas City, Missouri, which we talked about last episode because I had that farmhouse tank number 7 on there. And it includes 8 different types of beer in it. I couldn't memorize them all, so I'm going to read them to you. It has an imperial stout aged in rye whiskey barrels, finished in port casks, blended with imperial stout and bourbon barrels, blended with a Belgian style dark ale in ruby and tawny port casks, blended that with a Belgian style dark ale that was aged in bourbon barrels, blended that in a Belgian style dark ale in California sherry cask, blended that in double mashed imperial stout that was aged in bourbon barrels, and then they blended that in an imperial stout and Spanish cherry puncheons. And then finally, they mixed all that together with an imperial stout that was aged in bourbon barrels, which was then aged in ruby and tawny port casks. So, I have no idea what this is going to taste like. It's a blended ale. It's another style. It could taste like a whole lot of things, but let's just do it. It's a very interesting flavor. Very good. Definitely tell it's about 12.5%. It's a little boozy on it, but I think it's supposed to be with all that different stuff that they aged it in and mixed it together. So the owner of Boulevard has like a saying that's called do something different or be something different, and that's what they did with this beer. They said 30 years later, we're going to do something different, we're going to be something different, we're just going to add a bunch of stuff together and see what happens. And they did that, and I think it worked out pretty well myself. Drinkability for 12.5%, I have no problem drinking this relatively quickly. It's got a nice mouthfeel to it. It's not overly boozy, but it's got a nice little burn to it, which is very refreshing and welcoming because there's a lot of complex mixed flavors going on in here. So I like the drink for style. Taste, I'm not really sure, taste what was really going to taste like because it's considered an other in the style. So I would say taste for style, it tastes kind of as expected, mixing all those different things in there, mixing all that alcohol. It's working out pretty well. Will it get you drunk? This thing will put you on the floor real quick. If it was legal to give dogs alcohol, to put him on the floor, I'd probably pour this in his bowl so he would just relax a little bit today. This is your last one. Mommy already opened day 4 for you, so you're not getting any more. Lay down. Now, behave.
So yeah, as you said, taste pretty good for 12.5%. Has a nice frothy, kind of foamy, thicker head to it, which I kind of like. Definitely taste the alcohol in it, so definitely don't want to chug this one, but it will get you drunk.
Yep, and then my final overall rating, I'm giving it a full pour. I'm really liking this beer. I kind of wish we would have bought 2 of those specialty packs to have maybe one next year or 2 years from now, because I bet if you let it age for another year, you can get a lot of different stuff in it.
Yeah, I'd probably go, going with 375. It's good. Definitely not Bell's Expedition stout by any means, so
Going 3/4 pour.
Mhm.
Okay. And what do you have?
All right, so here for our day 4, we have the Raspberry Stout from Hardywood. This is actually out of Richmond, Virginia, and if you guys have ever heard of Richmond, Virginia, there's a lot of big craft breweries there right now, the Answer and the Veil, which we actually have a package coming with some beer from the Veil, so pretty excited about that. This one is brewed with dark chocolate malts and, of course, raspberries. And this brewing company, Hardywood, said that it tastes supposed to taste like a sweet dessert at a 5-star restaurant. So we will go ahead and give this one a try and see how it is. Mm. Oh, raspberry.
You can go first if you like.
So this one, yeah, heavy on the raspberry, not super thick for a stout. It's a little bit lighter, but it is 9.2%. So it's definitely drinkable, and it could get you drunk if you drink enough of it. So I'm gonna give this one a full pour. I think.
I'm gonna go full
Really
pour.
like the raspberry taste.
Okay. All right. So for drinkability, the sweetness of that raspberry in it, it's gonna make me want to slow down drinking it. But it doesn't have that full heavy stout, feel that they normally have that would make you want to drink them a little slower. So drinkability, I'm going to want to sip on it mainly because of that sweet raspberry for me. Taste for stout, it tastes like a stout. It's got a nice little roast chocolate. You could tell they made it with dark malt, and it does have a very strong raspberry on the end of it. They said that it was, from the description that they wrote, it was faint on the end, so maybe we've had this sitting for a while. Now the raspberry is really coming out, but it's actually pretty strong, and it's very pleasant for you. 9.2%, get you drunk, it'll get you where you need to be. And then my final bar rating, I'm going to go with a 3/4 pour this one because of the lack of the chocolate roast that I was expecting in a stout feel. Still very good beer, especially if you like raspberries. If you're a raspberry fan, you definitely want to check this out because it does have that raspberry taste to it.
Mm-hmm.
So, did we already do Moose's last advent calendar?
Yep, he is good to go. So.
All right. Cheers to Disney Plus butt stuff. A big hitter in Three Floyds. If you've never heard of Three Floyds, you've probably heard of some of their beers though. Dreadnought, Gumball Head, Zombie Dust, Dark Lord, all big names. If you ever had a chance to get Zombie Dust or Dark Lord, you've gotten really lucky. Probably their most popular brand across the country is probably Gumball Head. That's the one that I see the most, or Yum Yum. So they're real popular. Three Floyds is in Munster, Indiana, which is like 35 minutes south of Chicago. But it actually started in 1996 in Hammond, Indiana, by Nick Floyd, who opened a brewery in his garage. And we love garage breweries. We have a beer in a couple of days that is, I think it's tomorrow actually, that is from Bowling Green, that is in a garage. So we love garage breweries. Other cool ones are called Keg in Champion, PA, and White Horse in Berlin, PA. Real neat places. They're in garages, real small, good feel. So that's how Three Floyds started in 96. They started in a garage. And 4 years later, they moved to Munster, where they still are today with the tap room, restaurant, brewery that they have there. And their whole motto and the whole thing that they do is make not normal beer. So they strove to do things differently, to change the game. And if you drink their beer, you know that they've done that. So pretty cool place. If you ever have a chance, if you're ever going to Chicago driving from the south, make sure you stop at Three Floyds, but get there early because we got there about 15, 20 minutes before they opened and we were about an hour out, which was crazy. Like there was an hour wait at that point to get into the restaurant and brewery. And what I didn't like about it though is like when you got a flight there, it was preset. You didn't get to choose your beer. It was, these are the 4 that you get in a flight and that's it. So you either had to drink full pints and some of their stuff's heavy beer. So that was the only real negative about it, the weight in that, but excellent beer, great service, real cool place. They have like a dark vibe to them as you can always tell by their bottles and stuff. So definitely check them out if you're ever driving to Chicago going through Munster. You want to tell them about the beer?
Yeah, so today we have Apocalypse Cow from Three Floyds, as he was saying. It is coming in at 8.6%, 100 IBUs. It is a double IPA that has intense citrus and floral hop aromas. They used a lactose milk sugar, but they're not calling it a milkshake IPA. Typically when you put lactose into an IPA, you usually call it a milkshake IPA, but they're doing something different as their motto is, so they are not calling it a milkshake IPA. So we will give it a try and see how it tastes.
You want to go first?
Yeah, sure. So, taste for style, as we said, they're kind of doing
That's the
something
fact
different,
though.
so it's a little bit hard to kind of know exactly what style they were going for, but I definitely taste the lactose in there. I taste a little bit of floral aroma. I taste the hops. So overall, I'm going to say very drinkable. I could definitely have more than one glass of this. Will it get you drunk? At 8.6%, yeah, it'll probably get you drunk.
Final rating?
Final rating, I would say a full pour.
Full pour. Okay, so I agree with you. Kind of hard, what they were going for, but at 100 IBUs, you're expecting to maybe have your mouth pucker a little bit. And when I first drank this, it did pucker slightly, which is always a good sign. I don't know if you guys watching can see it, but there's a lot of sediment in here. Maybe I'll turn it this way so you can see it. So I was afraid when I was drinking this, it was going to affect the drinkability, like I was going to have like a weird mouthfeel to it. But I didn't get that. I didn't notice it, even for the big chunks. It still kind of goes down smooth. It's very drinkable, especially at 8.6% and 100 IBUs. Like you don't know that. I do get like the nice thickness of a milkshake IPA, but it does not the overpowering of a lactose that you get in milkshake IPA. So maybe that's why they're not calling it that, because they didn't add enough. They just added it for like a mouthfeel, which is a very creamy. So it's a very good idea. So drinkability, I think it's very drinkable, even with all the sediment. If I was paying attention, we probably could have even had less sediment in it because I poured the whole bottles in there. But I do think it's very drinkable. Taste for style, I think it tastes like a double IPA. I'm very sold on it. And 100 IBUs, I definitely know it's in there. So they say normally anything like over 75 or 80, that's when you start having like against your mouth, like with pucker, or, it tense up a little bit when you have that. I personally like that kind of IPA. You like that IPA. I just homebrewed an IPA that has like 150. Now that is pushing the limits of drinkability. It's a little rough. So, but this one tastes really good. Taste for style, exactly what it says it is. It'll get you drunk. Pretty easy to drink. IPAs to me are kind of like party beers, chuggy beers if you're going to use craft beer because it's that much simpler. Final overall rating, I'm giving it a full pour as well. So this is the last episode of this couple days. We got a lot going on. Make sure you stay tuned because we're going to be in some random city tomorrow night, and we're going to be doing a show there. Make sure you follow me on Instagram, follow me on Untappd. Definitely Instagram. She puts a lot of work into the Instagram, so follow that. But definitely follow that. Make sure you subscribe to those things so you're able to see what's going on, because we're going to be in another random city. We don't know. We're doing a pack up and go trip, and we're going to figure out where we're at. So make sure you subscribe to that for sure. And yeah, we'll see what happens. Till next time, cheers. All right, Moose, are you excited? This is your advent calendar today, buddy.
All right, buddy, day 5. What do we got? Open. Some little chips. Sit.
All right, handsome, what do you think?
Good. Going back for another?
That's pretty chewy, he thinks.
Oh, easy. There you go.
Just to show you how excited he was about this. There's all the drool from when we were shooting the episode for those couple minutes. And I don't know if you can see it. The reason he was making all that noise, look at that puddle just from that. So, advent calendar, huge success. Right, Moose?
High five.